going on, world? It's me, Andre Catnot here from West Palm Beach, Florida. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a indicator that I'm currently using called AIRO. All right, AIRO is an indicator that's been provided by a company called AIRO Prime. And before we even get into that, whatever you got to do, pause this video if you're watching the replay or whatever, but read this disclaimer. Okay, this disclaimer will tell you that Forex is very, very, very risky. Okay, and it is. All right, and you got to be very, very clear of that. So just wanted to show you this disclaimer. Make sure you understand this. Okay, very, very risky. All right, but we have tools in a company called AIRO Prime that's going to supply you with indicators that will increase your chances of winning. All right, you're not going to win 100% of the time, but AIRO Prime gives you some tools that can make it kind of simple for you, okay, when it comes to trade, especially if you're a newbie trader. So what you're looking at right now is a tool or indicator called AIRO. All right, and if you want more information about AIRO, I'm going to leave a link in the description box below and the instruction on how to get access to AIRO. But AIRO, I feel like it's perfect for newbie traders and advanced traders, because when it comes to this indicator, it's gonna have these supply and demand zone. You can see these red, and then you see a green zone down here. These are called supply and demand zone, and every time price touches these zones, either the red or the green, it's gonna price is gonna struggle at these zones. And when price normally majority of the time when price reaches these zones, it's gonna kind of struggle. Price is gonna kind of struggle, okay? And price can reverse. There can be a reversal in the market, okay? And it's kind of like ping pong. So it come down here to the green, this green zone, and then pop back up and touch this red zone and pop back down. It's just kind of like ping pong. So it's very, very simple, and it kind of give you a clear picture on where the market could be possibly heading. All right, so like I said, it's not 100% right all the time, but it can give you an idea, and it can also increase your chances on where the market is going to be heading if you take a trade, all right, in that direction. So as for example, I'm going to give you a couple examples that we can kind of see how it works. So basically, you see right here, price was down here, it reaches the price up here, this red zone right here. The red zone means that you should start looking for sales, basically, because when price reaches these zones at the top, these red zones to be specific, that means price are going to struggle, and it's probably is going to reverse, okay? And as you can see, it did. So price touched the zone, and it came down a little bit, came back up a little bit, and then there's a arrow. When an arrow pops up, that means you can take the trade, but we have strategies on how to use these zones, supply and demand zones, and how to take these trades when it comes to seeing these arrows. But as you can see, the arrow is pointing in a downward direction, and literally you could have got in the next trade and literally caught all of these pips, okay? And there was another arrow that popped down, so possibly price could be going down and touching this green zone down here at the bottom here. And then when the price gets down here in this green zone, price might possibly struggle when it gets down here, and then it possibly might shoot back up, okay? So like I said, it's going up, down. The market continually goes up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And these are basically like training wheels for newbies, because for newbies, you will have to draw these supply and demand zones. So you literally, you don't have to draw these. You don't have to mark up your chart. Now, it's good to draw up, mark up your charts and draw other indicators on your charts to increase your chances of winning. But for the most part, you can literally just use these zones and take these trades. And like I said, we have, matter of fact, I'm going to show you exactly. So I'm in the back office of AIRO Prime, which shows you exactly how to set up this this indicator. And the cool thing about this opportunity is that it gives you it automatically gives you a VPS, which you currently need when it comes to keeping your charts open. Because what VPS is just basically how like when you're on your laptop, you close your computer, you close your laptop. Well, the indicator is not going to be working if the application is closed. Well, VPS is going to keep your application, your charts up and running, and where you can start receiving alerts. Because when it comes to AIRO, you're going to be getting alerts, okay, on your phone, alerts on the charts, and it's going to kind of tell you when an AIRO pops up and kind of tell you whether possibly the market is going to be heading. Okay, so we have we show you exactly how to set this up. It's very simple and very easy. If you know how to follow simple directions, you'll be fine. But we have different strategies on how to use this indicator, and I'm telling you right now, this indicator is very, very, very simple to use, and it's a very simple concept that we use. And the first strategy that we use when it comes to AIRO is that it's called the bag strategy. So basically what it means is, let me kind of give you an example of how the bag strategy works when it comes to AIRO. So whenever the market goes up and touch these supply and demand, touch either the green or the red supply and demand zone, that again the price is going to struggle. So once price goes up to these zones, as you can see, it went up and touched this red zone at the top here, and it bounced. As you can see, it bounced and it came down here, and then came back up a little bit, and then AIRO, right? You get an AIRO, and then once you get an AIRO, once you see an AIRO, then you go. All right, you get in on the next candle. So I'm not gonna go into too much detail on this strategy because we have a lot of good training inside of Avoria Prime that will show you exactly how to use AIRO, and you'll learn additional strategies on how to use AIRO to increase your chances of winning more trades. Okay, so but basically the strategy stands for the first strategy that we teach when it comes to this indicator is called AIRO the bag, all right, which stands for bounce, AIRO, go. All right, the B stands for bounce off the red area, and then you get an AIRO, right, and then go. That stands for the G. G stands for go. And then like boom, you'll catch all of these, potentially catch all these pips. All right, so since we got an AIRO down here, again, like this is possibly going to go ahead and touch the green zone down here, and when it touched the green zone down here, the price is most likely going to struggle, and then it's most likely going to shoot back up and then touch this red zone back again. Okay, so I'll give you another more example here on how this works, and also you'll get alerts on your computer as well on when an AIRO pops up, and then also you can get alerts on the phone to show you exactly. You can get alerts on your phone that show you also when an AIRO pops up. We'll show you once you join. You'll know how to set all that up. Okay, it's very, like I said, it's very simple and very easy, and I can also help you set this up as well if you need additional help. And then like I said, if you want access to this indicator, I'm going to leave some information in the description on how to get access to this indicator. But let me show you some more examples. Now they also added a dashboard here. All right, this dashboard will kind of tell you or alert you when an AIRO pops up on the pair. All right, and I'm kind of show you exactly the settings of this real quick. So literally in the settings part of this indicator, you're able to choose the pairs that you want to trade when it comes to receiving the alerts on certain pairs that you want to trade, and also you're able to choose the time frame that you only want to receive alerts on. Okay, you have options here to choose the core 7, the all 28 pairs, or if you only want to choose one pair to trade and you only want to receive alerts on that one pair, you're able to choose that. It's very simple, and once you set that up, this is what you're going to see. All right. And you're going to see all of your pairs. You're going to see, you know, some spreads. You're going to see the ADR, which stands for average daily range. And then this red shaded area means that there was an arrow that popped up on the German 30 chart. So, you know, this will like kind of tell you, hey, there was an arrow that popped up. There was a sell arrow that popped up on the German 30. So you might want to check out your chart. Okay. And it also tells you, as you can see, you know, that red shaded area here basically was alerted on the H4 chart. All right, the 4-hour chart. So as you can see at the top, it'll tell you, you know, the time frames that arrow popped up on. Okay, it's very simple and very, it's very simple, very easy to understand. Okay, so so every time you receive alert on the certain pairs that you trade, you will see either a red shaded area or a green shaded area. Of course, the red stands for sell and green stands for buy. Okay, and you'll see which time frame on that chart it popped up on, that arrow popped up on. So for example, a German 30. Let me exit out of this real quick. So German 30, I don't know why this is popping up. Well, I possibly have already. I mean, I probably already have it on the chart already. So German 30, all right. You'll see, remember, every time on the dashboard, that red shaded arrow will let you know when a arrow is present. Okay, so if you have a certain amount of pairs that you're trading and you get a red shaded area alert on that dashboard, that means there's an arrow that is present, that just showed you the arrow on that chart. So so this indicator will let you know when these arrow pops up. It will alert you, and that way you don't miss any trades. Okay, now another thing that this dashboard is good for, and again, this is new. Okay, this will keep you from having all of these charts open. So let's say that you don't want all of these charts open at one time. All right, like literally you don't have to have all these charts open at one time. Like literally you can only have this chart up here open, and literally you can have all of the pairs in this little dashboard, and you'll get alerts on when arrow pops up on these charts, instead of having all of, because you used to have to like bring up all of these charts just to get notified when an arrow is being placed. Okay, so you don't have to do that no more because of this dashboard, because this dashboard is all in one area here, which is the dashboard, and you'll see you can have all of your pairs in one area instead of having all these charts open. Hope that makes sense, man. I hope that's very clear. But simple as this, I'm telling you, once you learn exactly how to use this chart, you'll kind of like for example, I can use some more examples. And another thing is if we also in the strategies that we teach, the main strategy that we teach inside when it comes to using this indicator is basically the trend, how to identify the trend. If you want to identify the trend, what we do is we count how many zones against the other. So if we have more red zones than green zones, that means that the trend is in a downtrend. All right, and if we have more green zones than red, then that means it's gonna be it's an uptrend. Okay, hope that makes sense. But literally, it makes it easy. This indicator makes it easy for newbies, because whenever price get to these zones, price struggles a little bit. All right, price struggles, and when the arrow pops up, once it, let's say for instance, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, four red zones there. All right, so literally, let me see what kind of chart. I'm on a 15-minute chart. So literally, this right here tells me that this is even though it's going up right now, the price is going up right now. This is most likely a downtrend, and when price most likely going to touch this red zone here, and it's probably going to go back down here. So whenever price reaches these zones, price is going to struggle. And when you receive an arrow, which you'll be alerted on your dashboard, that's indicating, hey, if you have more red zones, or you have more zones in the other, and you get a receive an arrow and it's heading in the direction of the trend, you should be looking to get in for a trade. Okay, you should be looking to get in for a trade. But right now, I wouldn't even get in a trade, because let me zoom in real quick. I wouldn't even be looking to get in a trade, because we have more red zones than green. All right, we only have one green zone. And another thing to also mention is that you see these shaded areas on this chart. The shaded areas mean we call it the money zone. All right, these are the areas that the market really moves. Okay, and the trade sessions that I really look to trade in is either the London session or the New York session. So usually in the London sessions and the New York sessions, you will be in the money zone. Okay, because those are the times that people mostly trade. Okay, so I would even, like in this case, even though it bounced off the green zone, I wouldn't be looking for a buy, because there's more red zones than green. All right, plus the price is not in the money zone, because when you implement the strategy, the first strategy that they teach, which is the bag strategy, is that one, you have to count the zones and then trade with the trend, and then plus you have to trade in this money zone. All right, if price is outside of the money zone, you shouldn't be looking for any type of trades. Okay, and then plus you want to look for the bounce. Remember, for example, I know this is not in the money zone. You should trade in the money zone, but let's say, for example, this was in the money zone. Prices where it's like a bounce off this green indicator here, this supply and demand zone, and you got an arrow, right? Once it crosses that EMA, that 50 EMA, and you got an arrow, and you got in. Most likely you're supposed to get in on the next candle, and you got an arrow. That means you're supposed to get in the trade. So I hope that makes sense. So bounce. Price came down, bounced off this green supply and demand zone, crossed the 50 here, and then you got an arrow. That means go. Okay, you're supposed to get in the trade, but you're supposed to trade in the money zone, which is the gray shaded area here. Okay, so yeah, so it's very, very simple. Of course, when I trade, I also do my markups, on TradingView. Trading View is a let me show you, give you a clear idea. So yeah, so basically what I do is, I draw up my charts, I draw up different I have different indicators on here and stuff like that, to help me increase my chances of winning. But literally, if you just use the supply and demand zone that arrow gives you, like literally you can win. It can increase your chances of winning just based off of these zones alone. All right, without even doing any other markups. But I highly recommend to learn how to trade, so you can also have different indicators and confirmations to give you a better understanding on where the market could be possibly headed. Okay. So yeah, so I'll give you another example here. And like I said, you're gonna always, once you set up AIRO, you're gonna also get alerts on your computer that will also let you know when there's a arrow that pops up. So let me go back to my dashboard. Like I said, if you're gonna be using the dashboard, you don't need all of these charts open. Okay, I'm just letting you know that right. You don't need all these charts. I don't even know why I should have just exit out of all of these charts, because I don't want to teach you on something that I'm not preaching, but you don't need, when you're using this dashboard right here, you don't need all of those charts popped up. Okay, you don't need them. And here's another example. Euro USD here. Euro USD has a arrow that popped up on the 5-minute chart. Okay, so let's go ahead and check that out real quick. So let's go to the 5-minute chart here, and you'll see that these arrow pops up. But remember, we don't take, like, another thing, I just want to mention this too. Like, you don't just take trades based off arrows when it pops up. You have to make sure that depending on what strategy that you're using, remember, we have over 10 different strategies on how to use arrow. The first strategy, the first main and basic newbie, and the highly recommended strategy that I highly recommend, especially if you're brand new, is to use the bag strategy. Okay, and remember, if you want to get your hands on this indicator, you have to click the link in the description box and follow the instructions, and you'll be able to go ahead and join Avorio Prime and get access to AIRO. Okay, we have simple instructions on how to set this up. Like I said, I'm here. If you join me, join using my link, I will help you set this up. Okay, so the bag strategy is something that I highly recommend for people that are brand new to trading. Okay, it's because it's like this bag strategy is very simple. Okay, and remember, when it comes to trading the bag, trading the bag strategy, is that it has to bounce off a zone, a supply and demand zone. And once it bounces off of the supply and demand zone, well, first you want to see where the market is headed, and you want to count how many zones against the other. You want to make sure that you're trading with the trend. So if there's more red zones than green zones, you should be looking for sales. If there's more green zones than red zones, then you should be looking for buys. And with the bag strategy, you want to make sure it bounce off a zone, either in the the downward or the upward direction. You want to wait for an arrow to cross. You want to wait for the arrow to pop up, and if it's across the 50 and you get an arrow, then that means you need to get you get in that trade for that direction. Okay, it's very simple. Very it's more to it, of course, but the bag strategy is very, very simple. It's a very simple way to trade. I highly recommend if you're brand new. It's simple, like it's very simple to trade. Okay, so let me give you another example. I want to give you some more examples real quick. And like I said, if you want to get access to AIRO, click the link in the description box, follow the instructions, and you'll be able to get access to something like this. Okay. All right. So again, you don't want to take all of the, whenever an arrow pops up, that don't mean just get in a trade. That doesn't mean that. You have to make sure. That you're looking at everything when it comes to the strategy. Okay. So let me see. Let me zoom out. So what I usually do is to figure out the trend. I always zoom out, right? I zoom out, and then I count the zones. All right, I count the zones. So look like this right here is even. 1, 2, 3. You got 3 green zones and you got 3 red zones. Okay. We have training on base that shows you exactly what do you do if you have even zones. If you have 3 zones, let's say for instance you have 3 green zones and 3 red zones, we have training on how to trade that as well. All right, because remember, we're looking to trade with the trend. So there has to be more red than green, or more green than red. All right, and either the green or the red, whoever has the most zones in that color, we go with that trend. Okay, remember, red stands for sell, green stands for buy. Okay, now let's I'm trying to give you a really good example here. Let me see, is there any other good examples right now? So like I said, I usually trade when it comes to during the London session and the New York session. Right now it's the Asian session right now, and this is the session that I don't really trade in. Okay, but I think this is the best example right here. Whenever the market, or what you want to do first is you want to zoom out, right? And you want to count the zones. Clearly, there's more green zones than red. You only have one, so that means this is an uptrend. This is what we call a uptrend because we have more green zones than red zones. So this is clearly an uptrend. All right. So if the market reaches, let me zoom in real quick. If the market reaches and touches this green zone up here, down here, that means we're looking for a buy. Okay, we're going to be looking for buys, but we don't just get in the trade once it get down here. We have to wait until we get that arrow. All right, and it's above the 50. That means go. All right, remember, bounce, arrow, go. That's the first strategy. All right, that's the first strategy when it comes to this indicator. It's called the bag strategy. Bounce, arrow, go. So once the price reaches down here in this green zone, the market look, most likely are going to go up because remember we counted like 5 or 6, 7 green zones. So this is clearly an uptrend. So once market reaches in this green zone area and it bounces and it goes above the 50 and you receive an arrow getting to go, that's going to tell you, hey, you need to get in for a buy. Okay, and I hope I'm explaining this very clearly, but that's how this indicator works. Every time a price touches a zone, that means you're supposed to be getting ready, depending on how many colors of that zone is. You got to get ready for a buy or a sell because most likely when price reaches these zones, price is going to struggle and it's going to reverse. And once you get that arrow to confirm it, boom, you get in the trade. All right. So hope that's very clear. And again, remember, if you're going to be using a dashboard, you don't need all these charts open. Okay, because you're going to have all of these charts in one section, all of your pairs in one section here, and it's going to tell you whenever a arrow pops up. It's going to tell you whenever an arrow pops up, either on the 5-minute chart, the 15-minute chart, the 30-minute chart, the hour chart, the H4 chart, etc. And like I said, if you do decide to go ahead and get this indicator, I'm telling you, the main strategy that I highly recommend is the bag strategy because it's very simple and very easy for a new person to trade. And like I said, we have a whole bunch of like 10 training sessions on how to use AIRO with different strategies. We also at Avorio Prime have different trading bots as well. So if you looking for a trading bot or you're looking for automation, we do have products that automate automate trading as well for you as well. So if you want to look into that. But if you want more information about AIRO, let me know in the comment section. If you got any questions, let me know in the comment section. You can also reach out to me. I can also explain to you a little bit about the other products as well. And but if you're already convinced that this is something that you need when it comes to helping you when it comes to trading, then go ahead and click the link in the description box. Go ahead, follow the directions that's in the description, and go ahead and get access to this. And then once you get access to AIRO, let me know, and we can go ahead and maybe hop on a Zoom, and I can kind of help you out a little bit too as well when it comes to setting this up. All right. So with that being said, first, before I even get off, once you click the link in the description box, this is where it's going to take you. Right, it's going to take you to a website like this. What you want to do is you want to click on Assets Pass. All right, and the monthly price, if you're going to be choosing one product, because there is more products. There's automation, trading bots, and of course there's AIRO. If you want to just only utilize AIRO, all you have to do is just come in here, choose the bronze, right, and then choose your month or quarterly, or you can pay for the month or the year or whatever. But most people did choose the month, and all you gotta do is just go ahead and click on a subscription, and then it'll bring you to the checkout page where you can go ahead and pay for that product. Okay, now once you get to the checkout page, make sure that it says Andre B. Catnut. Andre B as in boy, Catnut, as your sponsor, because sometimes you never know, the sponsor, or it might be out of place. But just want to make very, very clear, if you want to make sure that you're joining me, make sure that the sponsor username says Andre B. Catnut, and you're once you sign up, boom, you're under me, and boom, you get to work with me in the team. We also have Facebook group. We have a group called AP Legacy. We also have another group, my sponsor group, which is called Rising Moguls, and we also have Telegram chats, Telegram groups, and we also going to be having live sessions as well. Let me kind of see. Let me see if I can go to it real quick and kind of show you. We also have live sessions that will kind of that will also, let me log in. Let me go to my back office and kind of show you. So if we go to AIRO Trade Room Beta, because right now we're in beta right now. When it comes to the AIRO Trade Room, we have a new product that's going to be launching called AIRO Trade Room. Okay, and AIRO Trade Room is going to give you a list of different coaches, and these coaches show you exactly how to use AIRO, how to trade with AIRO, how to use the indicator. So if you want live training and you want to see the setups that they're going to be taking, then you can hop on these Zoom calls live. All right, and literally these are the people here that's currently doing the AIRO Trade Room. Okay, so I think I kind of explained to you a little bit about AIRO. Maybe I might be doing some more videos showing you the trades that I take when it comes to AIRO, but that's it. I mean, AIRO is just a simple way for you to be able to know where the market is going to be heading. All right, so with that being said, I'm Andre Catnut here from West Palm Beach, Florida. Again, if you want access to AIRO, follow the instructions that's in the description box of this video, click the link, and go ahead and get access to AIRO, and let me know that, hey, Andre, I went ahead and got AIRO. Boom. And then maybe we can hop on the Zoom call. I can walk you through things, but the training that's inside of the back office shows you exactly how to set it up step by step. Very simple, very easy. But if you need additional help, I'm willing to hop on Zoom with you and set this up for you. All right. So with that being said, I'm Andre Catnut here from West Palm Beach, Florida. I will see you on the internet. Take care.